Alexia Umansky and Jake Zingerman are basking in newlywed bliss. Fresh off their September 6 wedding in Los Angeles, the longtime couple headed south of the border for a quick, celebratory getaway. Fans received several peeks at the trip on Alexia's TikTok and Instagram pages, where she showed off her and Jake's incredible suite at the one and only Mandarina in Riviera Nayarit, Mexico. Alexia Umansky and Jake Zingerman celebrate their marriage in Mexico. "This is the most insane room," the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills daughter captioned a video highlighting the resort's lavish amenities. "Spent our last night in, ordered room service, and watched movies while the lightning lit up the sky. The nights were hot and balmy, and I loved every minute of the rain." Alexia also posted photos and videos of the gorgeous coastline, the sandy beaches, and a romantic dinner date at the resort. "Smiles on our races the entire time," she wrote in another post. "What a wonderful stay it was at the one and only Mandarina." Alexia Umansky teases her and Jake Zingerman's honeymoon. The SoCal real estate agent teased the trip during a September 9 Instagram Q&A, after a user asked where she and Jake planned to spend their honeymoon. Alexia said she and her new husband would soon head to Mexico for a mini-moon, a little getaway before their larger trip in 2026. "Planning something special for February," she replied, thinking Japan/Thailand. Alexia Umansky explains why she hasn't locked down her honeymoon plans. Alexia was also asked about her honeymoon during a recent Amazon live stream with her mother, Kyle Richards. While dishing on her big day, Alexia confirmed she and her then-fiancé had not selected a honeymoon destination. Why? Well, they were simply too busy preparing for their wedding. "We actually haven't decided yet. So TBD," she said. "We're not gonna go right away. It was too hard to plan a honeymoon and a wedding in such a short amount of time. I don't know why we planned a wedding in such a short amount of time, but we did." Alexia walked down the aisle about 10 months after Jake proposed. According to the Not 2025 Real Weddings study, the average engagement for U.S. couples is 15 months long. "First of all, we're impatient and we're unorganized," Kyle said about the relatively fast wedding. "Also, if we waited a year, we would be rushing anyway," Alexia added. The Beverly Hills daughter said her ceremony would have been exactly the same, even if she had more time to prepare for the wedding, and that the only thing that might have been changed was her honeymoon schedule. "If we were to plan ahead, I would have been able to plan a honeymoon," she said. "Everything else would be the same." Alexia Umansky and Jake Zingerman tie the knot. Alexia and Jake exchanged "I do's" in a midnight garden-themed ceremony in Topanga Canyon, California. Kyle and her estranged husband, Mauricio Umansky, walked Alexia down the aisle in front of their family and closest friends. Attendees included Alexia's sisters, Farrah Brittany, Sophia Umansky, and Portia Umansky, all of whom were maids of honor, as well as Alexia's aunt Kathy Hilton, and Alexia's cousins Nikki Hilton Rothschild and Barron Hilton. The guest list also featured a number of Bravobrities, like RHOBA's Erica Jane, Dorrit Kensley, and Sutton Strack, as well as RHOBA8 alums Lisa Rinna and Teddy Mellencamp. Alexia and Jake's wedding had been nothing short of magical, but the days that followed, marked by their mini-escape to Mexico, painted a softer, more intimate picture of their lives as newlyweds. The one and only Mandarina was a dreamscape, a sprawling resort where the jungle kissed the ocean and luxury villas seemed to disappear into the trees. Their suite, perched high above the cliffs, boasted a private plunge pool, sweeping ocean views, and an indoor-outdoor design that allowed the humid Nayarit air to mingle with the scent of fresh orchids arranged around the room. For Alexia, it felt surreal. "I kept telling Jake, this can't be real life," she later joked in an Instagram story, showing her husband reclining on a hammock that overlooked the lush coastline. Jake, more private than his new bride, occasionally peeked into her videos with a grin usually caught mid-sip of a margarita or laughing as Alexia narrated their adventures. Their days were simple but filled with little luxuries. One afternoon, they booked a couple's massage in an open-air cabana by the beach, lulled by the sound of crashing waves. Another evening, they wandered down the coast barefoot, pausing to scribble their names in the wet sand before the tide swept them away. Dinner was often under the stars, candlelit tables, fresh ceviche, grilled lobster, and glasses of chilled rosé. Honestly, this felt like the honeymoon, Alexia later admitted on TikTok. Even though it was just a few days, it had everything we could have asked for: romance, adventure, relaxation, all of it. Still, the couple was careful not to frame this getaway as the real thing. Their sights were set on something bigger, something they could look forward to after the whirlwind of planning and celebrating. Japan and Thailand remained at the top of the list, though Alexia teased that Jake was also considering the Maldives. "Jake is all about the beaches," she explained during a candid Q&A. "I love beaches too, but I also want a cultural experience, which is why Japan is calling me. We'll probably end up compromising and doing a little bit of both." Kyle Richards, always the doting mother, has already offered to help with the planning. She was like, "Don't you dare wait until the last minute again," Alexia laughed. "She's right though, she loves organizing trips, so I might let her help us with the logistics." The Mexico trip also gave Alexia a chance to reflect on the wedding itself, a ceremony that Bravo fans are still buzzing about. The Midnight Garden theme had been her dream since she was a teenager, and the execution was nothing short of breathtaking. The venue in Topanga Canyon had been transformed into an enchanted forest. Twinkling lights woven into towering oak trees, tables draped in black velvet and adorned with cascading florals, and a dance floor that shimmered like moonlight. The highlight, of course, was the moment Alexia walked down the aisle. Both Kyle and Mauricio flanked her, a poignant moment considering their highly publicized separation. "It was emotional for everyone," one guest later revealed. Kyle and Mauricio were so united in that moment, and it was really about Alexia and nothing else. You could see how proud they both were. The guest list was a who's who of Beverly Hills and beyond. Erika Jayne, in a glittering silver gown, turned heads during cocktail hour. Dorit Kemsley was spotted chatting animatedly with Kathy Hilton, a sight that surprised some fans given their on and off tensions. Sutton Strack, in a custom Carolina Herrera dress, made a heartfelt Instagram post the next morning. Watching Alexia walk into her future was pure magic. Love was everywhere. Even Lisa Rinna, known for her polarizing presence, couldn't resist sharing snaps of the evening, captioning them, "When love wins, we all win." Farrah, Sophia, and Portia's roles as maids of honor made the day even more touching. The sisters each gave short speeches that left few dry eyes in the room, especially Portia's, who tearfully thanked Jake for loving her sister the way she deserves. The reception was nothing short of a Bravo-worthy spectacle. A live band kept the energy high, followed by a DJ who spun until the early hours of the morning. At one point, everyone was barefoot on the dance floor, Alexia said later. Even Aunt Kathy kicked off her heels. The Mexico mini-moon provided a quieter balance to all that excitement. Away from the glitz, Alexia and Jake reveled in the little things. Morning coffee on their balcony, late-night room service, watching storms roll over the ocean. For two people who had been in the public eye during their whirlwind engagement and wedding, it was refreshing to retreat into their own bubble. As for what comes next, Alexia is diving back into real estate with the agency, where she works alongside her father and sisters. But she admitted she's eager to balance work with this new chapter of her life. "I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned from my parents is that marriage is work. But it's also fun if you make it a priority," she shared in a candid podcast interview. Jake, meanwhile, has been supportive of Alexia's career and hinted that he might even appear in more of her social media content moving forward. He's not big on the spotlight, but but he knows it's part of my world, she said. And he's honestly so funny. People would love him if he let them see more. For now, the newlyweds are content with living in the moment, settling into married life in Los Angeles, planning small weekend getaways, and slowly sketching out their dream honeymoon itinerary. And if their Mexico trip is any indication, fans can expect plenty of dreamy updates, candid behind-the-scenes moments, and maybe even a few surprises. As Alexia put it best in her final Mexico recap post, "It doesn't matter where we are, as long as we're together." But wow, Mexico was pretty close to perfect. Back in Los Angeles, Alexia and Jake found themselves adjusting to the rhythms of everyday married life. The glamour of their wedding and Mexico mini-moons still lingered, but both agreed that the best part was coming home together. Their mornings began with coffee runs in Beverly Hills, Jake in sweats and Alexia in oversized sunglasses, often spotted hand-in-hand by fans. Alexia also resumed filming for Buying Beverly Hills, where her newlywed glow became a topic of conversation among her castmates.